continuing with the prime APIs, there's a molecule Vera background. So it is used with the it is with the combination of basic care to treat a condition called bladder muscles contract. This is one molecule. It is being under in a development stage in the Neuland, and currently the patent is owned by only one company, and the patent is about to expire in around 2022 and 2023. So already there has been a generic application for this molecule, and also only one company has this generic application. So we can see potential with this molecule. And if you consider only USA, there were only two companies, and if you consider the patent applications approved by the European Union, there is only one company that is been applied for patent in Europe. So the patent has, I think, it's approved very recently. So it will take it has the exclusivity for 8 more years, and after that we can expect the generic players entering into the European markets. And I think the current demand with the European market is quite low compared to these molecules. Moving on to the next. So this is the one molecule. So I couldn't actually get them more data about these molecules because there were no patents were filed for this molecule. I think it's still in early stage. So as we can see, there are no patent applications applied in either in European Union or either in US FDA. So this is the molecule, and this roxadustat is basically used to treatment of anemia caused by kidney disease. So we couldn't be able to get them more data on this molecule, and Neuland has listed as one of the molecules is still under in a development stage. We can hope that whoever the company is working on this, maybe that is the first NDA applications will be filed in the US FDA. So I think maybe we can assume that this is one molecule where Neuland is the prime supplier for the for this molecule. If NDA application is filed in the US FDA or Europe Union. So this is another molecule. This is called Roflumilast. This is a cardiovascular drug. So it actually is used to reduce the heart muscles. Because of this condition called ATTR. So the heart muscles will be thickened. So it's used to reduce the thickness in the heart muscles. In both in adults as well as I think it's more than 12 years of age. It includes children as well. So currently this is FDA applications. So only one company has the patent to sell this drug in the US FDA, that is Voltrix Pharmaceuticals, and it will it is in collaboration with the Pfizer. So basically we can say only Pfizer has the patent to sell these drugs in the market. I think this patent will expire in 2026 or 2027. So after that we can expect the Neuland coming into play. So all these drugs I am mentioning, they're still under developmental stage. Maybe phase 3 or developmental are very close to commercialization. So we can expect these molecules to come into the market in maybe 3 to 5 years. Once this patent gets expired, then we can expect these molecules contributing to the revenue for the Neuland as a prime API. So another molecule is ursodiol, used for the people who are actually reducing the weight. So what happens is the people who are reducing the weight, they will they will come up with some liver diseases. So this liver diseases, what it will form is like it will form gallstones, like some kind of substance. So it is used to dissolve those substances who the patients who are actually losing the weight. So we can say this molecule is a generic molecule, and we can expect this molecule is morely supplied to US because there were 30 applications approved in both ANDAs and NDA applications. So, and there are no CEP applications approved in EMEA. So this we can easily assume that there were there is no quite attractive demand for this molecule in the European Union. So that's why I think there are no companies that actually applied for this molecule in the European Union. And because we have 30 applications in US, we can expect there are quite some medium to large volumes of demand in the US compared to the European Union. So another molecule is oxylotor. This oxylotor is actually it's a NDA molecule. So the patent is owned by only one company, that is Global Blood Therapeutics. So this patent is approved very recently, I think in 2019 or 2020, and this company has actually applied for this molecule in the European Union as well. And this application is still in the process. It's not yet approved in the European Union, but in the US it's got approved, and they were selling another brand name, Oxbryta. So this is one molecule. So this molecule is this is the first hemoglobin oxygen affinity modulator. So this is a molecule. So this is usually is used to treat the sickle cell disease. Sickle cell disease is basically the red blood cells. They will form as a they're not in the shape of they usually have in the shape of round. So what they happen is this shape is kind of transformed to oval shape. So to treat to get back these oval shape cells, red blood cells, to the round shape, so that that disease is called sickle cell disease. So this oxylator, this molecule is used to treat those kinds of diseases. So yeah, this is a very new molecule, and we can expect some. And this molecule is still under the clinical and I mean the developmental stage. I think this molecule is off patent in maybe 2026 or 2027, because the exclusivity is for 8 years, and the remaining 2 years the NDA applications have the permission to sell this drug. And after I think 10 years, this molecule will be off patent, and the generic players can enter into this molecule. Okay, so moving on to next. So this molecule is basically it's used to treat the side effects, maybe the pleasurable effects of nicotine from cigarettes and other tobacco products. So it usually what they do is it usually reduce the carvings of the patients who are more prone to tobacco and cigarette kinds of products. So it used to reduce those carvings. This is a prescription drug. In Europe, the Pfizer has it, and this PM Prism is actually have the patent in the USA. So only these two products is there. So I think this product is also got approved in both the markets very recently, and we can expect this maybe in after 7 to 8 years as a generic market. So currently Neuland is working on this molecule, and if they have succeeded, so we can expect this molecule to go make some revenues maybe after 7 to 8 years. One more thing what I observed is the molecules they're categorized as primal niche APIs. It's basically based on the number of process involved. So if you take all the niche molecules or the specialty APIs, what they do is like they includes on an average more than 15 to 20 processes to make this drug. So, and while compared to the prime APMs, it hardly includes it's very less than 10 processes to make these prime APIs. So one of the differences is that. So based on that, I think Neuland actually divided those molecules, and they've categorized it as this. So all the molecules which I've discussed, which are still developmental or commercialization stage, but we can see these molecules maybe after if the molecule is in commercialization, we can see after 2 to 3 years, and if it is still under development, we can see after 5 to 6 years. So moving on to next. So this is another molecule. This is same as salbutamol and salmeterol. So it's usually used to control wheezing and shortness of breath. So this is similar kind of molecule with the molecule of salmeterol. So this is this molecule is quite still at the like what to say, still patented by only one company, that is Glaxo. So actually, the Glaxo has won the all the formulation patents for this molecule in both Europe as well as USA, and they have sold this molecule under different brand names, because their brand name is usually have these, maybe it is differentiated by the weightage they have used in the weightage of API they have used in the formulation while making the formulation, like maybe 15 grams or 100 grams, something like that. So they've given each formulation as a different brand, and they are selling it under different brand names. So this only one company have this patent right now, and as I said, this is a recently approved molecule, so we can expect the patent will go off after 7 to 8 years. So while moving on to edoxaban, this is again a cardiovascular drug. So it is used to treat the problems of blood clot, while having a heart attack or while having a stroke. So this is the molecule which used to treat those conditions. So currently in USA only one company has this molecule patented under a brand name Savasya, and in Europe also this only two companies. So because in Europe this another company is differentiated with other forms of formula, like if one company has given it as a maybe lotion or maybe powder, then another company has given it as a tablet. So they have differentiated on that aspect, and so they have get the patent for this molecule in the Europe. Again, this is the newly approved molecule, so you can expect this patent to go off patent by maybe in 7 to 8 years. So this is another molecule they have categorized, right? Category. So these, all the molecules which I have discussed, I think we have discussed around 78 molecules. They are still under developmental stage. So this is another molecule which they have listed as a prime molecule. So only only one company has the patent right now in European Union. So I think they have applied. The same company is applied for US FDA patent. I think it is still in the process. And yeah, this is again a newly approved molecule. Moving on to another molecule, it's actually used to treat migraine for the adults. So this is again a new molecule, and all these new molecules we couldn't able to find the exact market share or maybe imports or exports for each of these molecules. This is very new molecule. All those information is kept under confidential, and so because this only one company which has a patent for this. So, and this is again a newly approved molecule, and the same company is applied for the EMA applications in the European market. This ozanimide is usually is another molecule, and this is again a new molecule which is patented by only one company under the brand name of Zeposia. This is again a CNS drug, so central nervous system drug. So it's used to that treat the weakness or with the nerves which do not actually do not function properly. So drugs is used to treat those. So this is again as same as donepezil. Again, that is central CNS drug. So, and one more thing is those kinds of drugs they have. So as I said, from 2019 they have kind of moved this into the nerve system drugs. So maybe example of donepezil or brinzolamide or dorzolamide. So those are the drugs which are actually contributing to the revenue. So I think this drug is again forms into those category, and we can expect this revenue coming from this maybe after 6 to 7 years, because it's still under patent protected. So even if this drug is manufactured, maybe they should be having a collaboration with this formulation company to supply those drugs. Well, coming to peptides, so peptides is usually the type of protein. Which the difference between peptides and proteins is proteins have a longer chain of amino acids, more than 40. So the peptides have less than 40 amino acids in this chain. So So that's how they differentiate between peptides and proteins. So if you see the market, the total market size, global market size for peptides, it's kind of hovering around between 20 to 25 billion. And if you see only for India, it's around 500 million. I think, yeah, it's very less. So, but it's still growing a business, and we can see the huge potential there. And while coming to particularly about the Neuland is working more than a dozen of peptide molecules. These molecules are at a different stage of their processes. Some of them are in clinical stage, and some of them are under development and commercialization. So currently, I think under developmental, they have listed around 4 molecules. That is liraglutide, linaclotide, and octreotide and semaglutide. So these are the 4 molecules which they have actually listed under the peptide molecules, and these are the molecules are still under developmental stage, and still they have more than around 8 molecules under the pre-clinical stage or under clinical stage. So once they have moved up in the process, I think they can list down these molecules as well. So while coming to liraglutide, it's basically used to treat type 2 diabetes and obesity and chronic weight management. So it's usually worked in the process of while reducing the weights, or used to treat diabetics. So it's currently patented by Novo Nordisk. So only one company has this patented under different brand names. One is Victoza and another is Saxenda. So we can expect this molecule to go off patent. I think this is the molecule which got patented around 2016 and 2017. So we can expect this molecule to go off patent by another 3 to 4 years. So currently, the Neuland is currently positioned at exactly at the at an early stage. We can expect this molecule to go contributing to the top line maybe in 3 to 4 years. So that is one molecule. Another molecule that is linaclotide is actually off, the patent has expired. So you can see Mylan actually entered the generic space for this molecule, and we can expect some other companies will get into this space and crowded this place. So only in US. So if you consider European Union, I think this European Union doesn't have much demand for this molecule, because until recently none of the companies have actually applied for the patent for this molecule. So I think this Constella brand is recently approved in 2017 or 2020. So maybe one reason could be the demand is very less for this molecule because it's not very attractive. So maybe one reason could be that. And in US, I think that recently it got off patented. So the Mylan is actually the first to enter this generic space. So we can expect if this linaclotide comes into market, maybe we can expect at the time it comes to the market from Neuland, we can expect some other formulation companies have actually patented, and they can supply to this. So that is one thing. And if you move to next molecule, this molecule, yeah, as I said, all these peptide molecules are most of the peptide molecules are recently been patented, and so this is another MyCap. So it's a brand name for this octreotide. So what happens is, because I mentioned it's a 50-second application. Before this, there are 51 applications which they have. All those 51 applications are actually patented under injectable form. So this 50-second application, this company has actually found another use for this drug, and they came up with the oral drug. So instead of injectable, they come up with a capsule, so you can actually consume it as a capsule. So that is one one new kind of formulation they have did that. So they have patented it under NDA. So you can expect this kind of formation is new and it's very recently patented. So as you can see the date, it's 2020 of June. So we can expect this molecule to be under the NDA for another 10 years. So if if you know if Neuland want to supply to the customer, they can supply to the all the customers who are actually supplying for injectable form. And once this patent has expired, so they can supply to the all the oral drug manufacturers this molecule. So that is one thing. And this in European Union, we can see there were very less applications. So until recently, there are in 2021 only, I think in March only one application has got approved for PEP. So we can see this drug has been around for maybe I think 2 decades. So we can see the demand is not quite good in the European Union. That's why we can see there were very less applications in Europe. Moving on to another drug is semaglutide. So if this semaglutide is this again it comes under Novo Nordisk. So this is another molecule. It's actually patented by Novo Nordisk, as I said, liraglutide. So this is the molecule which we can which Neuland is currently working on, and it's currently patented by Novo Nordisk. So this is again to treat the diabetics and chronic weight management. So if you see the molecules which they have listed under their under the company, we can say now some of the molecules which they have listed, they still have the patent protected by many other companies. So one of the example could be Sugamadex. So the Sugamadex will be off patent by 2026. So and the Neuland has actually claimed that Sugamadex is actually under the development and it's at the commercialization stage. So once this patent is expired, so they will actually have the advantage of early bird. So they can quite get the customers, and they can quite get into the market. So not only Sugamadex, there are many other molecules which I mentioned, like these peptides like liraglutide and semaglutide. So these are the molecules which are still under patent protected, but Neuland has actually kind of stepped up the process, and they were close to the commercialization. So we can expect for next maybe around 5 to 6 years, we can expect some of these molecules will actually started contributing to the revenue. And current molecules, I think so one of the molecule is salmeterol. It's actually kind of stabilized due to this recent situation of COVID. It got it started to see the rise, but once this settles, so we can see that revenue is also stabilizes to some points. So we can expect some of the molecules will get stabilized, and these new molecules which are under pipeline will started to contributing to the revenue for next 3 to 5 years. So and also if you look at the the CMS business, they have what I can say is from 2020 to 2021, if you see those 8 quarters, you can see the molecules were kind of stabilized around 70 to 80. So you can see it gets fluctuated between 70 to 80 molecules. So maybe what I feel is that the CMS kind of stabilized there, and it stabilized around 70 to 80 molecules, and maybe we can expect in 3 to 5 years it may go around 90 molecules. And currently their strategy around CMS is to focus on the molecules which are which are at the which are close to the commercialization, which are close to the developmental. So they are not actually uh, you know uh, they they're not interested getting the molecules which are too early, like preclinical and phase 1 phase 2. So they're moving at their process in those kind of aspects. And one we can say the so the target they have uh, they keep on telling for maybe last 5 to 6 years. is to get the revenue of CMS for CMS share of 30 1/3 of the revenues should be coming from CMS. So I think they have achieved that, and also one more thing they have mentioned is this specialty APIs should they should be getting the revenue of 1/3 from this specialty APIs and another 1/3 from Prime. So we can see if this specialty APIs are not actually getting contributed to the revenue as as we've seen from CMS business. So the growth in specialty APIs compared to the CMS is very low, and actually CMS has achieved this target what they promised around 6 to 7 years ago, and this API is still in the process of getting there, and the remaining around 40% of the revenue is coming from Prime. So we can see, we can expect this specialty APIs to grow in next 3 to 5 years because there are quite promising molecules they have, and for next 3 to 5 years. And the CMS, what I feel is maybe next 2 to 3 years they will be getting the molecules around 90 molecules, and what I can say is after that I don't think they could be able to add increase their CMS business as fast as what we have seen in the last few years. And moving ahead, what we can say is after maybe 6 years or 7 years, so we can see the kind of revenues get stabilized in CMS business, because the molecules which are currently at the clinical or phase 1, phase 2 trials, it will be getting to stabilize and start earning the revenue after let's say 4 to 5 years. So after that, I think they should be able to, if they should be able to add more molecules in coming years for CMS, we can expect revenue growth from CMS.